go get them again.
Welcome back to another unboxing first impression video on my channel. Today we are delving into the brand of the House of Oud and the little eggy bottles. This one called Keep Glazed. Now this brand and I, we really don't mix, and you can see I got a few here in my collection. A couple of these were for the decant site, which this one also is, but this one, Dates Delight, is the one that I blind bought from the brand. And honestly, once upon a time, I was impressed with this brand. When they first came out, I was like, oh, the bottle designs are quite unique. They talk about, you know, every little egg is hand painted, so it's kind of like a different design. So I wanted to kind of collect this line, honestly, back then. After sniffing several over the years, that never materialized, as you can see, but they do look good. It's a really nice artistic branding as far as the bottles go. I don't think it's the best design, as you have the bottle kind of compressing the atomizer. Not that I've met a few in my decanting ways that they had a few that were leaky. So I'm not going to say it's a faulty product, but having, the little egg pushing on the atomizer in here, not that it's pushing, but you know what I mean, is probably not a good thing. But going back to the scents themselves, many smell, and this is just being honest here, many smell cheaper than the retail pricing or what they ask for. This brand, from what I've smelt, is really gourmand based branding. And they're not doing it for me. And there's a lot of brands out there in the niche spectrum that are really emphasizing the gourmand side of things, where you can really get a good gourmand for cheap. I don't pay a premium for gourmands. You almost have to be one, if not the best in the genre. Like a coffee-based fragrance, or a fruity mango, which this one has, or fruity type fragrance. It just really is either about the imagery or the secondary parts of the fragrance. It really has to be, honestly, really well done. And a really good example of that, I got a couple gourmands that I really like, but Bond Number 9, which is a brand that I don't like, this kind of reminds me of Bond Number 9 with the star-shaped bottles and the marketing and everything. Kind of reminds me of that. But New Harlem, penned by Maurice Roussel, is a beautiful gourmand fragrance that cannot be touched by, Roussel does this lavender coffee thing like he does in the Rochas Man and Michael Jordan Legend, but he did it in New Harlem way. It's the same base, but it's worth the extra cash. And it's one of my favorite gourmands of all time. So that is like, one of the exceptions of the rule, we'll say. For me personally, that's just my thought process. Gourmands, even though I love them, you gotta be really outstanding, honestly, for me. I'm not gonna be spending $200 plus for something that I could probably get for 50 bucks in the designer game, honestly. So we'll see what this one is all about. Keep Glazed, interesting name. I believe it's based upon, or was in collaboration with, a Canadian pastry chef, if I recall correctly, when I saw the marketing on this particular fragrance. This one and What About Pop are really some of the more popular ones recently of the brand. So we'll see what this one has to offer. If you're new here, you're new to the channel, welcome to the Robes Away channel. I'm your host, Mark. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. This is one of the few YouTubers for myself that I get things like this for decanting. I don't, I get paid to decant. I don't get paid to do reviews. So I don't get free bottles from brands. And a lot of people that review this brand, either free bottles or they're buying it with their own money, which why would you, put a negative fragrance review out there? And I'm not trying to put a negative fragrance review. I'm just, using my experience and letting you know this could be an outstanding fragrance review. You never know. I always have an open mind that some brands just don't do it for me, but I keep trying because I know, after, a few years in this game, I know that, hey, sometimes, you got a streak of like 5, 6, 7 bad ones, and it is what it is. So you just don't mesh with the brand. But sometimes you go 3, 4 bottles in and you're just smelling the wrong stuff. And then eventually it clicks, and then you got like 2 or 3 in a row that are really, really good. So never really turn your back on a brand if you've only smelt a couple. But some brands, the spade's a spade. Like I like to say that, after like 5 or 6 duds, I'm starting to see, you know, kind of a concept here. So anyway, that's the good reason to subscribe, is because I'm not biased on any brand. You got to show me the goods, basically, is basically the end of it. To the ones that return, that are back, merci beaucoup for your support. Much appreciated. Much love to all of you. Let's take a look at the note breakdown. Let's see what's in this thing. In the top, we have mango strawberry leaf. Oh, okay, not strawberry, but strawberry leaf. I think that's the first time I've seen that in a note breakdown. I'm trying to remember. The Rolodex isn't telling me anything in regards to strawberry leaf. So we'll see what that gives us. It also has iced lemon. Okay. All right. Now going into the mid, we got whipped cream, coconut, and ginger. And you know, this is red flag or not. Yeah. When I see whipped cream in a niche product like this, it takes me aback a little bit, because there's, you know, is it going to go into that gourmand fragrances that they do smell under $100, right? The whipped cream accord, I don't think I've ever smelt one that I'm like, oh yeah, this is worth $200-300 of my money. So we'll see how prominent that is. It could just be a vanillic piece and that's it. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Coconut's an interesting, and ginger also. This mid is very interesting. Obviously the top is going to be, I'm assuming, a citrus uplifting fruity thing. And in the base we got fruity notes, okay? Nondescript fruity notes. So we'll see if the nose can get some of those for you. Musk and woods. You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the brand, like it's going to be like a mango whipped cream kind of thing. It's going to smell like maybe a body spray or something. I'm not trying to, you know, pan it already, but oh man, that whipped cream, it's just kind of like it's like a little beacon of like, uh-oh. This was released back in 2019, so it has a lot of years behind it. Nose, Andrea Cosotti and Christian Calabro. I think Andrea, he's the founder. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. Anyway, it's not a brand that I've kind of like forgotten the brand. I'm not really delving into the brand that much. Pricing, this one retails for $240 USD. Yeah, that's okay now, because, you know, designer fragrances are starting to creep up to that $240. Like a niche product now, overpriced. Like 200s used to be expensive back in the day. Right, Tom Ford Private Blends used to be in that area, Amouage, you know, and all that. So all the heavy hitters used to be kind of in that realm. Now those brands are like double that price. So, you know, designers are creeping up to 170, 180, and in Canadian, we're looking at almost 200 for like a Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male big bottle. I'm looking at 220 plus tax. So it's almost as close as this. So I have to kind of gauge that in my head also as far as price points. So not too bad in regards to that. And at discounters, you can find this for approximately 110, 120 US. So half off, more than half off. So that's great pricing, depending on what you're getting. But that makes a lot more sense to me now, as far as this brand goes, around 110, and, you know, Canadian around 140, 150. Yeah, that's starting to make a little more sense. So there's no unboxing here. This is for the Decant site. It is what it is. They sent me this as a returned product, of course, so it's already been sprayed. So let's take a look at it. We're going to put it on strip, but we're also going to put it on skin as well. I do like the color of it. It's got like a peach, like almost a brown white kind of colorway. The atomizer is leaking a little bit, so I got to be careful. Atomizer is actually pretty good on this one. So let's sniff this one. Keep Glazed by the House of Oud. Oh yeah, that mango's coming right out. Like, it's a fruity little thing right here. Whew. Sweet, fruity. Oh, it's got a little bit of a tanginess as well, like a tartness, but also an icy feel to it. Iced lemon accord, huh? Yeah, maybe. It's got some green nuances. I smell that strawberry leaf. Like I smell that fuzzy leaf. That's interesting. Okay, so fruity pieces. I'm smelling a lot of pineapple out of this thing, actually. Pineapple. A little bit of mango. I don't think the same mango dominant. Like I was going to say that off the bat, but now it's starting to mesh into more fruity nuances. I'm getting a little bit of a pineapple apple kind of vibe. with the mango. And maybe like a berry peach kind of hue. So the fruity notes in the base of this, I'm going to add pineapple, absolutely. Apple, and something else with the mango. So it's not a mango centric, it's a fruity gourmand scent from what I'm getting here. It's got an iciness, like a certain tartness as well. The ginger is doing its thing as well. So you're getting a little bit of that, those nuances from the ginger as well. And there's a little bit of a vanillic hue coming through. So that whipped cream accord is not whipped cream. To me, it's more vanillic right now, but it's heavy on the fruit. So let's put this one on skin. Atomizer is really good on this thing. Yeah. Oh, that uplifting zing, I like that in this fragrance. I like that in a lot of fresh fragrances, that there's like a zing to it, like a tartness, an icy feel to it. So that iced lemon, yeah, there's a citrus accord, but there's also like an icy feel and like that gingery, invigorating hit. And I'm trying to place it like, it has some thinness, but it also has some depth at the same time. So I'm kind of going like, is this really like is this a summer release? Because it's fruity, but there's some depth to it as well. It's going more into this almost fruity, because of the vanillic hue, it's kind of almost going into this fruity dessert-like thing, but not, it's missing the whipped cream. And I think it's the vanilla it's doing it. And there's like no like pie crust or anything like that. There's nothing like that in here. But it smells kind of, it went, you know, the zing kind of gave it like almost authentic fruity notes. But the more I'm smelling it on my skin now, the more it's a little synthetic. So it kind of smells like like something that was made, you know, a paste or something, right? Like a strawberry paste or something like that, or a mango paste. There's a little bit of peach, yeah. So pineapple 100% shares it with mango. So I would not classify this as a mango-based fragrance. I don't know if they do, but if they do, man, there's some berry aspect as well. There's a peachy hue in here, so it might, you know, depending on how you feel about peachy hues, it might go more feminine for some people. There's definitely the lemons in here. There's an apple accord in here, like an apple, like a fruity, the fruity notes that they're saying: apple, pineapple, mango, berry, ginger, citrus, and then an icy feel to it, a tartness. And the lemon, the iced lemon, is kind of like a lemon tart, like just the filling of it, not the crust. Yeah, that's how it kind of smells. So it goes, like in the opening, it almost got me. It almost got me. Where I was gonna go say, like, I was thinking, you know, a little on the authentic side, but now that it's, you know, more on my skin, it's definitely like a synthetic fruit. Like, I'm trying to think, like, not a dessert, but maybe like a fruit smoothie would make more sense. Like artificially sweetened fruit juices instead of blending actual fruits. You know, at some places where you get your smoothies, they have like pumps of fruit. This is like a big difference from you're getting the pump fruit versus the actual fruits in a blender and blend them. You know what I mean? That's where that synthetic fruity nuance, and when you're drinking it, you know, it's got that medley. This is where this is going. A little lactonic, you know, maybe they're using coconut milk or something like that. That makes sense. I think what they're asking for retail, $240, you know, it's not a huge price point now in the niche game, honestly. It's like a mid-tier niche price point now. I still think it's a little too high, but I think, you know, for what discounters are giving it out for, I still think a cheaper gourmand house can do something like this, but it's kind of like in those synthetic. You know, I think people that would like Herba Pura, that would like Cruz del Sur too. Not that this is like mango centric like them, but it's in that fruit pile where, you know, like if you're looking for mango, like the Willem Perfumery one, mango skin is awesome. I love that. That was like my initial kind of love for the note. I feel like that's more authentic than anything. But yeah, for 110, 120, I think that's decent. Honestly, I don't think I'm not going to poo-poo that price. Obviously, it's not retail, but retail is a little high for what you're getting here. I don't know where this is gonna go. I did not feel the whipped cream accord, but I felt like a lactonic, almost like a coconut milk, I think would make sense, but it's fairly minor. Like I'm saying, like a smoothie makes a lot of sense. Like you got that, like almost like yogurt in your smoothie kind of thing. Like that kind of thought process with the fruity notes, major fruity, like 80% fruity, a little bit of that. I didn't feel any woods in here. Yeah, an okay gourmand. I can slot it in as that. I think it's an all right one, but it's not something that I would jump for joy and purchase with my own money. But an okay gourmand from the brand, honestly. Now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly, right? You can say that this is garbage to right up to this is a 10 out of 10. I think I'm kind of in the middle. Like if I had to give it a rating, I hate giving ratings out of unboxings because it's not fair. But you know, I'd give it like a 6 or, you know, maybe on the high scale a 7, but like a 6.5 kind of thing for this kind of fragrance. Yeah, so I can't wait to see the comments either way. And as always, a great report fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.